on NBA TV for players only, September 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. Now the rookie survey. Now those two are good in their day, but now you have our upcoming rookies, Trae Young, DeAndre Ayton, Colin Sexton, Wendell Carter, have all been predicted to do major things in their first year in the NBA. So obviously we had to get the expert opinion of our own Mike Fratello. So Coach, starting off with DeAndre Ayton, it's been said that he probably could be rookie of the year. Do you agree or you disagree?
I think he certainly is the front runner as we head into the season, but I always have that thing called wins in the back of my head. And two of these young guys who are very talented, Bagley, for example, in Sacramento, Ayton in Phoenix, both going into situations where they may not get many wins this first year. Then again, if they do turn their franchises around, they certainly will be noticed.
Definitely will be. And, of course, this is the game of buy or sell right now. So clearly you are buying the talent of DeAndre Ayton, who's drawn comparisons to that of a Hall of Famer like David Robinson.
Yeah, I am. This is a physically talented young man. He has the body to put minutes in the NBA, take the pounding that goes on in the NBA. He's skilled. He can score in the low post area. I think he'll become a little more of a presence as far as protecting the rim and bringing his rebounding numbers up. But heading in, he's got everything you need to be successful in the league.
Speaking of protecting the rim, Wendell Carter from the Chicago Bulls, we saw him do a lot of that in the Summer League and also be skilled offensively. So are you buying or selling him to have the best career out of all the rookies?
I'm certainly buying this young man because he's going into a team that I think is going to surprise a lot of people this year. And this is a talented individual who down on the low post has a number of moves. He goes after the boards. He'll come up with offensive rebounds. He'll block enough shots to keep the opponents honest. And as I said before, he's going into, I think, a really good group of young people that are going to be hungry to win and turn their franchise around.
Now, what about a player like Luka Doncic, who hasn't received any votes as far as being a player that could have a potentially great career? He seems to have won every important award in Euro basketball and has won championships. What are your thoughts?
I think the feeling here is that not enough people who are doing the voting have seen this young man play. Let's remember, this guy's a pro. He's played a lot of games against a lot of guys who are a lot older than him, a lot more experienced than he is. But this guy is a multi-talented individual. And I'll go back. I'm not trying to compare him to Dirk Nowitzki because I think his all-around game is actually ahead of Nowitzki's when Dirk first came in the league. But can you imagine if he ever had a run like Dirk has had in the, oh, my goodness.
That would be special indeed. And the player who he was traded for in the NBA draft is, of course, Trae Young. Now, buy or sell, is he going to be the best shooter in this draft?
I have to see that happen yet. A lot of shooters come out of college with the reputations of being shooters, but things change in the NBA. The athletes you're facing night in and night out are bigger, they're stronger, they're longer, they're tougher, they're tough-minded. But this guy does two things to me. He has the ability to make shots, but I think he also is going to be an outstanding passer, which means that can help his team grow and get more wins, perhaps, than people expect him to get.
Of course, he was the first player in NCAA history to lead the NCAA in points and assists. We'll see what he's able to do. His favorite player, Steve Nash, we know that he was pretty good at scoring and passing as well.
Yeah, he was pretty talented.
Yeah, he's pretty good, pretty good. Well, six-time All-Star and the pride of Seagoville High, LaMarcus Aldridge led the Spurs squad to the playoffs. But will that streak of playoff appearances continue with the addition of DeMar DeRozan? We discuss up next. Game time! 50-win seasons, 21 consecutive trips to the playoffs, and 5 NBA championships. You will see moments from all of those times. One of the greatest franchises in NBA history. It's Spurs Day, Wednesday, only on NBA TV. Now, the San Antonio Spurs, of course, have made a major change. We know they've moved Kawhi Leonard, and now he is gone, and now DeMar DeRozan is in San Antonio. So with it being Spurs Team Day, we wanted to look at the Spurs roster going into the next season. Of course, get your expert analysis on what you're thinking. Will it be 22 consecutive seasons going to the postseason? Starting, of course, with DeMar DeRozan and his addition. What are your thoughts, Coach?
It's kind of interesting to think about this team. On one hand, you look and say, if they can stay healthy enough during the course of the year with a couple of the older bodies, then they're good enough to win their share of games. On the other hand, if they get a key injury or two, okay, this team could drop off the ledge quickly. But adding DeRozan, when you think about it, a 23-point scorer, and to me, remember, San Antonio was one of the lower teams in the league as far as three-pointers taken and three-pointers made. We're talking about 26, 27, or 27, 28 last season in those particular areas. You get DeRozan coming in now, and this is kind of interesting for them. From 2009 to 2017, think about this. With DeRozan, he took just 1.4 three-pointers a game, okay? This past year, he was up to 3.6. When you look at makes, he made less than 0.5 a game. This year, he was over 1. He more than doubled that per game, and got his field goal percentage up to 31%. So they're adding something that they really struggled in last year, a three-point shooter. But they've got the veteran guys back once again, Aldridge, Pau Gasol, DeJounte Murray in the backcourt, Ginobili's back. They brought back, okay, once again, Bellinelli, the shooter, to help them out. There's your veteran guys. And then when you look at the younger guys they got in that trade, Podol, I like his ability really well. This could be a very solid team during the upcoming season.
Indeed, it could. Now, Rudy Gay had some interesting comments talking about maybe potentially this team flying under the radar, saying they don't have many expectations for us since, they've lost one of the best players in the NBA. They don't have many expectations, but the Spurs always exceed expectations. Don't expect anything less this year. So these are Rudy's thoughts. You look at this statement, and what do you think?
Well, that's the one name that I left out on purpose because I am so happy for Rudy, and I'm happy for San Antonio that he returned. There's a little hesitation there, both sides trying to agree that, yeah, this is probably the best place for you, and you always wait till that last second to see if that better offer comes in.
Of course.
But eventually, I think Rudy felt comfortable. I think he liked his role. I think he liked how Pop used him in the system. And I think they have enough. I think he thinks they have enough talent to win a large amount of games this year in the Western Conference. So I'm glad he's back with them.
Now, we've seen San Antonio struggle in the postseason the last 2 years, being eliminated by Golden State. Your prospects for them reaching the postseason, do you think this is a team that could potentially advance?
Once again, we know it winds up with who do you match up with if you get there, particularly in the Western Conference that is so tough. Who do you match up with in that first round? Not many people have been successful if you get Golden State in that first round. So we'll see what happens during the course of the year. See if they get there first, and then if they do, you're in, you got a chance.
That's right. You always have a chance if you get in. The NBA family mourns the loss of Bob Bass, a two-time NBA Executive of the Year who spent 20 seasons with the San Antonio Spurs and nearly a decade as general manager of the Charlotte Hornets. During his 20 seasons with the Spurs, most of which were spent in the front office, the team advanced the playoffs 17 times, including 3 trips to the conference finals. Bass, who was named NBA Executive of the Year in 1990, left San Antonio in 1994 and was hired as the general manager of the Charlotte Hornets, who made the playoffs in 7 of his 9 seasons. In 1997, he earned his second Executive of the Year honor. Bass retired in 2004.
Well, I played at a small college in Oklahoma, Oklahoma Baptist University. And I got hooked on it playing, decided to go into coaching when I got out.
He was wide open right down in there. All we got to do is just find that man.
When the ABA went into NBA and we were part of it, the ultimate goal was to go in there. And that was one of the most exciting times for me and for this franchise. Well, when I got ready to retire, it's a situation that I'm proud of. What do you call that? American dream?
The WNBA playoffs continue Thursday on ESPN2. Sparks, Mystics, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Then you have Diana Taurasi going back home to Connecticut to face the Sun at 8:30 p.m. And, of course, after the games for scores, highlights, and analysis, expert analysis, come to Game Time only on NBA TV. Now, last week, Steph Curry had a basketball camp for a lot of young ladies that have handles and can knock down the J with the best of them. Curry always giving back to the youth and potentially some future WNBA players out there on the court learning to shoot just like Steph, knocking them down in the corner. Now, that was a great practice moment. But this practice moment right here set the internet abuzz, and we go at the buzzer. There is Kawhi Leonard along with LeBron James and one Kevin Durant. Of course, all working out together. Coach, when you saw this, what were your first thoughts?
I want to know who was buying dinner that night. That's what I want to know. Which one of those guys is going to reach in their pocket and come up with the cash to pay for dinner?
Oh, man, shouts out to Phil Handy right there, organizing everybody, and Jetty Osman there as well. There's a good group of small forwards right there. A lot of great wing players in that group. I mean, when you see guys like this working out together, is this something that's common in your eyes?
I'm not sure people really understand how much time players put into the game away from the court when the regular season is over and done. Yeah, we may see some photos of them away on vacation with their family for a week or so, but they're right back at it again to work on their bodies, which have to handle the 82-game schedule, and then after that, 4 rounds of the playoffs if you go into the finals.
Now, you don't know if there was any potential recruiting done by a certain LeBron James, do you?
What could he possibly be thinking of?
No, of course, that would, obviously be tampering. That's something that we don't endorse right here on NBA TV. But it will be interesting because there are a number of free agents coming in 2019, including one Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant. Who
Will we
both
please play this season first?
All right,
Stop
Coach.
worried about next season.
Coach, you make a great point. We'll wait. The season's coming soon. Ro Parrish, Mike Fratello. We're out of here.